When a company is developing groundbreaking biotechnology that promises to offer a solution to a problem that affects millions of people per year, it is important to talk about it. Aurealis Therapeutics is a biotechnology company currently developing a treatment for diabetic people who suffer from non-healing wounds in their foot, heal faster, prevent amputations, and thus have a better quality of life. Welcome to Aurealis Therapeutics Team Interviews, a series dedicated to present who are the people behind this company, what are they doing, what are they celebrating, and what can we expect to see moving forward. Today's interview is with Jere Kurkipuro. Hi, Jere.
Hello.
And we will start this interview by getting an introduction from Jere. So please, Jere, could you please share a little bit more about who are you?
My name is Jere Kurkipuro. I live in Kuopio, Finland. I am a husband and a father of 3 daughters. Currently, I am working as the project manager for Non-Clinical Pharmacology at Aurealis Therapeutics.
Yeah, so today you work as a project manager for Non-Clinical Pharmacology at Aurealis Therapeutics. If we take a little bit a step behind and think about the Jere that you were before joining the company, could you please tell us who were you before Aurealis? What did you study? What were your interests and what were you doing generally?
I have always been interested in biology, mostly because I did have an excellent and very motivating teachers already in primary school. I have always also been interested in understanding how things work and why they work as they do. So my educational background consists of two different entities. First being a PhD in the field of molecular medicine, where I was developing different gene therapy treatments for malignant gliomas. Secondly, later on I have also graduated from pharmacology and I am a licensed pharmacist. My working experience consists mostly of being involved in private sector research with different companies and mostly dealing with gene therapy approaches of different diseases. I have been involved in the fields of oncology, neurodegenerative diseases, and now with chronic ulcers as well.
And then eventually you find your way into Aurealis. Could you please tell us, Jere, why, how, and when did you join the company?
It was back in 2017 when I was then working to another company, a contract research organization as the head of biomicrolaboratories, when I was contacted by one of my old colleagues asking whether I would be interested in a position her current company was offering. So when somebody starts to calling me to my home and asking whether I want to work for them, it of course means that first of all I have probably done something exceptional in my previous working places. And secondly, the least I should do is to actually go and discuss and see what the thing is about. So I did. I went to meet Juha, our CEO, and discussed about the project and the position. And everything seemed really interesting and good, so it wasn't too long before I actually signed the contract and joined the Aurealis team.
Absolutely. So today you work as a project manager for Non-Clinical Pharmacology. So could you please tell us a little bit more about Aurealis operations and what is really your role within it? Like explain us a little bit more about what is it that you actually do.
Aurealis Therapeutics is a small biotech company that is developing a genetically modified lactic acid bacteria for the treatment of chronic ulcers. The kinds that you very commonly have in the feet of diabetic patients. As the title entails, I'm primarily involved in different studies and assays that take place in the preclinical setting, essentially different in vitro and in vivo assays. However, being part of a small biotech company sometimes means that we need to sort of cross over to different regions outside our titles. And for me, that means that I have also been involved in various validation projects, manufacturing processes, quality-related things, as well as internal organization projects and planning of the clinical study, or even analyzing the data from the clinical studies.
Awesome. So next, I would really like you to tell us a little bit more about what is it that you really enjoy about your work at Aurealis.
I think for me this question consists of two different parts. First is being part of the small enthusiastic biotech group, which means that there are new challenges and new things to learn ahead of us almost on a daily basis. Like I just mentioned, sometimes our responsibilities are broader than what our title entails, which for me means that there's a lot of variety in my days, and there's a lot of new experiences that I gain from my work. And of course, last but not least, there is a lot of novel expertise that I gain from my work. Secondly, it's about the drug product that we are developing, the AUP 1602C, which essentially is a pioneering drug product. There is no such product available at the moment in the world, and there is no set pathway forward for us. So essentially, once we hit the marketing stages at some point in the future, it is not only the diabetic people, the patients with the wounds, that benefit from all the work, but potentially we might be paving a way for a whole new class of drug products intended to treat various of different indications. So that's sort of a long way of saying that it's nice to be the first in something.
It's absolutely nice to be the first in something. So now that we have already talked a little bit more about your job and what the company actually does, I also know that you recently had a peer-reviewed article being published in PLOS One. So for the people that are currently watching us, a peer review means an article that has been reviewed by other scientists. So could you please, Jere, share what is this article about and what are you the proudest about it?
The publication summarizes the difficulties related to chronic non-healing wounds and the apparent lack of novel treatments to this rather common disease affecting potentially millions of diabetic patients around the world. The publication also describes our drug product, the AUP 1602C, how it functions and how it heals the wounds when applied. We also do show the safety of our drug product when applied to the wounds. And in general, the data in the publication is sort of a summary of the critical things that needs to be in place before you can take a lab experiment and transfer it to the clinical testing phases. I think the article published last month in PLOS One is a solid summary of all the work that we have actually done in the past few years in a quite rapid succession. And I think that sometimes when you are really sort of focused on something, all the accomplishments sort of are left unnoticed just because you are already then transferring your focus to another thing. And having a peer-reviewed article of our work published in a well-known scientific journal, it's sort of a reminder for all of us that we have actually done a lot and things have been moving with great speed towards the clinical phases and ultimately the marketing of our drug products. And having a publication in a peer-reviewed article, it's sort of a external validation of our work.
Thank you. That's really a fantastic achievement. So now, for the people that are watching us, could you please tell us a little bit more, what is it coming for Aurealis moving forward?
Currently, we are quite busy with finalizing the phase 1 study. And of course, at the same time, we are preparing for the upcoming phase 2 study with all the documentation and related things that needs to be in place before we can really proceed forwards. And of course, under the hood, we are actively developing the whole AUP platform in various different ways.
Thank you very much for sharing, Jere. So with this, we conclude the first interview of the Aurealis Therapeutics team. We really hope that you have enjoyed it. If you have done so, please remember to click in the like button, and we hope to see you in the next video.